I'm Peter J. Farmer, and I'm involved with simplechurch.eu and also newformsresources.com that helps to equip and train people who are involved in the emerging simple organic missional movement or established churches and denominations that want to transition into movemental thinking. I'm here at the minute at the Pioneer 13 conference in Sweden with Matthias, and it's been a great time. Some of the things that I've learnt in my journey over the last 13 years, in fact most of the things I've learnt are through mistakes, through experiments, through a lot of failure, a lot of trial and error. But one of the first things we learnt, one of the first questions we asked was, what is church? Back in the year 2000, that was the main question on many of our hearts. And then as we began to discover new ways of being church and things from the scripture and things from our practice in the mission field, we began to ask the question, how do churches start in the first place? Because many Christians were asking the question, what is church? But we're not finding many other Christians who shared the same values of meeting simply in homes or cafes. There simply wasn't enough Christians to go around in post-Christian Europe or Britain. So we began to think about, how do we start groups with people who are not yet Christians, and how do those people become followers of Jesus, and then church formed in their oikos or their social circle. So we began to explore that, but then as we began to gather people who were not Christians in these simple communities, we had another issue, that some people were not really experiencing full transformation. Also, people didn't know how to hear the voice of God or how to grow as disciples. So we began to ask the question, what does it mean to be and make disciples? So we transitioned from what is church to how did churches form in the first place? And then we began to ask the question, what is a disciple and how do we intentionally make disciples? But in the last couple of years, we've had another transition where we've been thinking more about the kingdom. What does it mean to be kingdom citizens? How does the kingdom spread? Because as we began to make disciples, we realised that being a disciple is about all the things the King says, not just in the sphere of church or in mission or discipling, but what does it mean to apply kingdom principles in education, in media, in government, etc. How do these disciples literally transform the world? And that's something that we are really focused on at the minute. And we continue to meet people across Europe. At the minute I'm in Sweden, meeting many people in the emerging simple organic movement and others in denominational settings that are wanting to create environments and structures and platforms to release emerging pioneers into the things that God has called them to do. So it's an exciting time.